All right, sixth grade, last section of the text. Scroll down and let's talk about what happened to the people who survived, who were lucky enough to survive, and then how many people actually died in the sinking. So let's scroll down and look at the section titled Rescue. As hundreds of people entered the frigid waters with the ship, their cries for help were largely ignored by those in nearby lifeboats out of fear that the frantic victims might storm and topple over the lifeboats. Eventually, one lifeboat would return to rescue survivors from the water, but only after waiting a considerable amount of time had passed. In the end, only 7 people were pulled from the water after the ship sank. Those in lifeboats would wait until around 4:15 for the RMS Carpathia to arrive and take passengers aboard. Some passengers climbed up rope ladders to reach the Carpathia, while others had to be hoisted in slings. By 9 a.m., all surviving passengers were aboard the RMS Carpathia. It would take 3 full days for the Carpathia to reach New York due to icebergs and thick fog. It was then that the public became aware of the depth of the Titanic tragedy. Take a look at that chart on that page. It says the fate of Titanic's passengers by class. So remember, first class were the guys in those super rich, swanky rooms, and then second class was kind of like normal guys, and third class would have been people like had the smallest rooms that was the 700 people sharing the one bathroom. So 325 first class passengers on board, 62% survived. 285 second class on board, 41% survived. 706 third class passengers, 25% survived. Okay. This chart's going to be important. Ms. Phelps is going to do something with you guys tomorrow, so I'm not going to get too much into it, but just think about that information because it might help you tomorrow. Last section, scroll down to where it says Aftermath. As the details of the Titanic's sinking were revealed, the public was outraged. Questions emerged. Why had the ship proceeded at full speed despite the iceberg's warnings? Why had the Titanic carried so few lifeboats? Why had J. Bruce Ismay rescued himself while women and children were still aboard? In response to the public's outcry, laws were changed, requiring ships to carry enough lifeboats for the number of passengers aboard. Furthermore, the U.S. government passed the Radioactive 1912 to require that all ships leave radio communications on 24 hours a day in order to be able to receive distress codes from nearby ships. By 1913, the United States Coast Guard formed the International Ice Patrol to monitor and report the icebergs in the northern Atlantic Ocean. At the bottom, you see the cover of one of the newspapers, and it tells you 1,500 perish. Perish meaning 1,500 people died. Always remember that an additional 500 would have lived had it been just that they had filled up the lifeboats, and an additional 1,000 people on top of that 500 would have lived if they'd had enough lifeboats. This was a completely preventable mistake. We're going to spend tomorrow talking about some really cool facts. You've got a good base knowledge of this now. You kind of know what you're getting into tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be really exciting. I can't wait. Like I said, I'm a nerd about this. Answer the last few questions. Click submit on your form. Have an awesome rest of your day after you finish your other classwork. And I will probably see you back in another video in a couple days.